Today I'm trying out the finger coiling styling technique for the first time on my curls. I've never really tried out finger coiling other than kind of experimenting with it here or there on some problem areas like around my hairline, but I've never really been able to master it. It always seems so complicated and time consuming, but I always love everyone else's results who do finger coiling in their routine, so I wanted to give it a try on my low density curls. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Gina and here we make videos all about naturally curly hair. I love simplifying things for beginners, talking about the science of hair, product ingredients, and step-by-step tutorials so that everyone can achieve healthy hair. When I think of finger coiling, I always think of Chloe from the Frizz and Frills channel. I will link her down below, but she does finger coiling in every styling routine, and she finger coils her whole head, and she has a lot more hair than mine, but her results are amazing. She has such defined curls. Her curl pattern is a little bit tighter than mine and her hair is a lot thicker than mine, but we both have coarse hair. Mine's half medium, half coarse. So I'm gonna be following along with her routine. I'm gonna be using different products. I went with some drugstore products today. Now note that this is not going to make your curls tighter than they naturally are. It's just going to enhance your natural curl pattern. It is going to help shrink them up a little bit more and just enhance your curls, but you can't create curls that you don't have. So if you naturally have wavy hair, it's just gonna make your hair look even more wavy. This is also really great if you struggle with frizz or you have lots of flyaways and root frizz. This is gonna be really good for that because, again, you're doing that fine-tune styling, so you're really like tucking that frizz away into curl clumps. So let's go ahead and get started with the styling routine. So today I wanted to try out a new drugstore combination. I've been trying to mix in some more drugstore products to give you guys more options. So I'm gonna try out the new Cantu Avocado Hydrating Curl Activator Cream and then the Kinky Curling Custard. I've already used both of these, but I've never tried them together, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm first applying this cream all over. So now I'm just gonna comb that cream through with a brush. So I am gonna section off my hair. Chloe definitely has to section hers because her hair is way thicker than mine. But with finger coiling, you're gonna have to section anyways because you have to kind of work more precisely with the curls. So now I'm gonna go in with the gel. I do recommend applying your gel before you do any type of styling because that's really going to help lock in the style that you're doing. And then you're not gonna break up any of your ringlets or your curl clumps if you try and like glaze in a gel afterwards, and you get a better coverage. So especially if you have a lot of flyaways and a lot of root frizz, adding a gel before you do any brush styling or finger coiling is really going to help coat every single hair with gel instead of just kind of glazing some over the surface. So I'm first going to take my brush and comb through the section just to make sure it's completely smooth, especially if you have pretty tangly hair. And this is also going to help you see where those clumps are starting to form, so you can see kind of where the hair wants to naturally separate. It's also going to depend on the width of your bristles too. If you have wider space bristles, it's going to clump the hair more spaced apart. But I like how this is a pretty dense bristle brush, so I'm getting a lot more separation, which I want because my hair is low density, so I want to create smaller curl clumps. So I can see just within this little section, there's like 3 to 4 different curls to do, and even probably more than that. You have to kind of look at the top and look at the root and see where the hairs are wanting to separate. I'm just gonna start twirling. So I'm twirling in the direction that the hair wants to go, and see, this is even splitting like right here. So I might even have to break that into 2 because it's possible that this piece actually kind of belongs to like a curl grouping up here. So we might have to add that in somewhere else. If you don't have a brush, you can also kind of smooth with your fingers like this. So if it doesn't curl like that one, try going in the other direction. There is a bunch right there to start. So far it's hard for me to kind of tell if it's doing anything, maybe because I'm picking up such small sections, but that's just where my curls want to separate. They want to make these little tiny, very small curls. And so it's hard to tell like if this is even doing anything. And I wonder if it's because I do have a looser curl pattern, so it's hard to kind of tell. But I bet once I get up to the sections of hair that are tighter, I'm probably gonna be able to see it more. Sometimes my hair doesn't want to like glide, like see how it's kind of like stuck. So I'm really only able to finger coil like half of the way down sometimes. And I have plenty of slip in my hair, but it's just like it gets stuck. That's the only tough part I'm noticing. So there is one section done. I can definitely see a lot less frizz. My wrist is like snapping as I go. So normally I would probably take my hair repair towel and just scrunch as I go with each section, But I feel like the length of time that this is going to take, that it might cause my hair to get too dry before I go and diffuse. So I'm just gonna leave it for now, and then we might scrunch at the end if we need to. So I'm just detangling each section, and then now I'm going in with the gel. So when I brush the hair, I make sure that I brush it away from the scalp just to help give some more root lift. See how that kind of made the hair kind of stick out there from the scalp, but that's what you want. And I remember Chloe mentioned this as well, to make sure that you are twirling right at the root to help it kind of bend away from the scalp. That way the curl will dry that way. It definitely helps to have more gel on your hands for slip. If you have a coarse hair texture or high porosity, it's definitely hard to kind of glide down the strand. Like, it feels rough and bumpy anyways, so you definitely need a lot of slip. I'm having to add more gel to my hands even though I have enough gel in my hair. Sometimes even if it looks like the strand is a little bit straight, once you go in and scrunch it, it tends to really spring up. Y'all, honestly, sometimes I can't really tell which direction the natural curl wants to go. Like, if that section is not really tight enough, you can't really tell. So I usually just go down the strand and then look at it, and if I scrunch it and it springs up, I know I got it right. If it doesn't spring up, then I might need to go in the other direction. On areas that definitely have a lot of new growth coming in or breakage, I'm taking gel all the way up to the root. That way it can really tame that frizz there. So y'all know that I struggle with my scalp showing, and I thought this might help with it, but I feel like it kind of made it worse right there, so I'm just kind of shaking that out with my hands a little bit. I think it kind of made it worse because when you were like finger twirling, you're kind of exposing the scalp around it because you're creating that clump right at the scalp, which can be good to give you more root curls, but it kind of creates that separation in between each finger coil, if that makes sense. But I don't feel like I broke up the curls just by doing that. I kind of just like shook it out right there at the root. Okay, this is the main area where I really wanted to try finger coiling because I have all of these baby hairs that whenever I finger coil them, like when I wear my hair up in a bun, they always get very tight and they look good, and I never give them that much attention when my hair is just down and when I'm wearing it like usual. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more precise about it. I don't think I've ever seen this curl right here actually take a spiral from the root, so that's awesome that it's working there. I just felt a hair like actually get pulled out. You want to be careful that you're not putting too much tension on your hair follicle when you're doing this, because I actually felt that one like come out. And if you have pretty weak hair follicles like myself, where I really struggle with shedding, then you might want to just be careful when doing this and making sure you're not putting too much tension right there on the hair follicle. All right, so this is the section where my grays are, so this is also going to be helpful to really tuck those away and help hide them, because they're always rogue and they never really go into a curl clump, so I'm hoping this helps. My arms are getting tired. We're almost done. So I'm noticing that sometimes it's easier to start the curl up here, and then once you might get too much tension, release it and then hold it and then go back through and do it. Especially if you have any curls that kind of change direction. Sometimes curls will do that, especially if you're still transitioning, so that might be a good way to kind of help it to go in that direction, is just hold it at the mid shaft and then keep going if you're having trouble like wrapping it all the way down. It's so interesting because usually this section I have like 3 curl clumps that are kind of frizzy, but now that I did this, I have a bunch that are much smaller and now they're not frizzy because they're super defined. So this section definitely has lots of different little curl clumps and curl patterns, so by kind of doing it individually, it's a little bit more frizz-free and it's not so like chaotic up here in this section. All right, I think I'm finally done. So I'm gonna take this clip out, and I feel like I need to shake out my roots. Like, I don't want my scalp to be showing or anything from doing all those little pieces. So I don't want my hair to be just stuck to my head like this. So I am gonna just wet my hands and then flip over. And I'm just kind of going in and just gently shaking out the roots. So I'm just going to scrunch with wet hands. Okay, now I think I'm ready to take my hair repair towel and just scrunch out a little bit of the excess water. As I mentioned, there's not much. Like, I'm actually starting to get a gel cast because my hair dries pretty fast, so I don't know that I want to scrunch that section underneath, maybe just where it's pretty wet up here at the front. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more of this, and I'm gonna add some water and just kind of tame any frizz that might have formed from scrunching with that towel, but I don't really notice a whole lot. Maybe just a little bit right here. So you'll just want to go around and make sure that you don't have any curl clumps that are too large or that need to be separated, because it's much easier to separate them when they're wet and you'll get less frizz compared to trying to separate them after your hair is already dry. So my hair is now completely dry and it is crunchy. Like, I have so much gel cast because I used quite a bit of gel trying to get that slip. So I kind of wish I used maybe a little bit less or maybe a little bit more cream so this would turn out softer, but we can scrunch it out. I'm just gonna wait a little bit though. I don't like to scrunch it out like right after I finish diffusing because sometimes that can create frizz. So now I'm ready to scrunch out the crunch. I'm going to use a little bit of the Curlsmith bonding oil just so that I can really remove all the crunch that I have. It really helps to break up a lot of the gel cast. I love how with this Kinky Curly Curling Custard, you can scrunch out the gel cast and you still have good definition and it doesn't immediately frizz up. So here are my final results after my hair is completely dry and I've scrunched out all of the crunch. I am loving the way that my curls look. I definitely have a lot less frizz than usual within the inner layers of my hair, which can reduce volume a little bit. Typically, I leave some frizz within the inner layers just so it kind of gives my hair some more fullness, but I still feel like I got pretty good volume even with this routine. I was very impressed. I think my diffusing techniques definitely really helped me get more volume, but I do notice a lot more even definition, like some areas of my hair that typically aren't that curly, like this section is definitely a lot curlier. So overall, I don't know that I'm going to be doing finger coiling on my entire head every wash day, but I definitely think I'm going to implement it in some of those problem areas like I mentioned around my hairline and even in some of those areas that struggle to really curl up. Even though I do prefer brush styling because it's much faster, finger coiling I think is going to be a lot better for those problem areas. So in terms of hair types that I think would benefit most from finger coiling, of course, like I mentioned, high porosity hair that tends to be very frizzy or hair that is damaged can definitely benefit from finger coiling as long as you're being gentle and not causing any breakage, and as long as you have enough slip, I think that it would be great for that hair type, and really any porosity I think would do fine with this. Any hair texture I think would do fine with this as well, whether if you have fine, medium, or coarse. But I do think if you have coarse hair, you definitely need a lot of slip because I was kind of struggling in those coarse areas. When it comes to density, I feel like that's the hair characteristic that might be the most affected by finger coiling. So if you do have very low density hair, I think that this could expose the scalp a little bit more. As I mentioned in my finger coiling routine, I noticed that the crown area was not covered the best. I mean, it wasn't as bad as when I do a lot of clumping with brush styling. I don't have any scalp showing now that it's dry because I did fluff out the roots, so it might be fine when it's dry, but just something to keep in mind. You don't want to clump it too much together because that could expose your scalp. Also, if you create too thick of curl clumps with finger coiling, your hair is going to look a lot thinner, so you might want to create very small, tiny clumps like I did, but keep in mind that can cause your hair to look stringy. For me, I feel like it just helped me keep the volume in my hair. It doesn't look stringy to me. So this is a routine that is pretty time consuming. It takes time to coil every single little curl, so if you don't have time for it, completely understand. But as Chloe has mentioned in her videos, it actually saves her time because she only washes her hair once a week, and if she just spends that 20 minutes once a week to finger coil her hair, it saves her time in the middle of the week because her curls last a lot longer. So if you would want me to do a routine comparing brush styling directly to finger coiling, like on the same wash day, then definitely let me know. But for me, it's a little bit hard because I have different curl patterns, so I can't really just split my hair down the middle, but we can compare it to previous wash days that I've done where I did some coiling with a brush. So make sure you check out Chloe's channel. I will put her channel link down below as well as her Instagram. Definitely follow her over there. I also wanted to give a little shout out to her scrunchie brand, Curlfriend Collective. I just got these in the mail and I've been loving them. These are like the largest scrunchies I've ever seen. This is from her new spring collection. I'll have everything linked down below, but it's a really pretty sage green color, really pretty pink mauve color, and then this gorgeous plaid color. I was telling Chloe that these were actually the colors of my wedding. And thank you so much to Chloe for sending these over for me to test out. I've been wearing them the last couple of days and I got so many compliments on my work calls about these because they actually show up in your hair. And I thought for sure that these wouldn't work for my low density hair, but they actually worked great. It actually gave me a lot more volume because there is so much material. So I've definitely found my new favorite scrunchie scrunchie. I'll put a link down below, and Chloe was also so kind to give me a discount code as well. This isn't sponsored or anything, but she did give me an affiliate discount code. So I'll have that link down below if you want to save 10%. So if you enjoyed this video, I think you might also like the one that I did a while back on how to make your hair curlier. If you are looking to enhance your natural curl pattern, get more spiral ringlets, if you want to tighten your curl pattern, then you can check out the tips in that video, especially if you have damaged hair or if you're transitioning. There are tips in there to help improve your curl pattern if that's something you are looking to do. So I'll put the link here on the screen, and I'll talk to you over there.